Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we're going to be talking about specialisation in sport and the benefits, risks and the implications for talent development. So sport specialisation often refers to the practice of focusing on a single sport. Often that can be often from an early age, and that is with the aim of achieving elite performance. In recent decades, early specialisation has become increasingly common, driven by professionals, competition for scholarships, and the belief that that intensive practice leads to expertise of the sport. However, recent research has suggested that the role of specialisation in talent development is complex and in many cases controversial. So we'll jump right into it. One of the main theoretical foundations supporting specialisation is Erickson's concept of deliberate practice. Erickson, Cramp, and Tesk Romer, 1993, argued that expert performance is the result of prolonged structured practice rather than innate talent. And according to this framework, accumulating thousands of hours on a sport specific training is essential for reaching those elite levels. So, for example, if it was football, it'd be the Premier League, Champions League, things like that. And this idea has often been simplified into popular 10,000 hour rule, encouraging athletes to specialise early in order to maximise practice time. But however, with deliberate practice, it is important that time and specialisation is critical. And research by Coate, Barker, and Aberfany 2007 challenges this notion that early specialisation is necessary. Their development model of sport participation proposes that early diversification where children engage in multiple sports may actually be more beneficial to the child, and diversification allows young athletes to try and develop a broad range of motor skills. It also suggests it could help reduce the risk of overuse of injuries and helps maintain enjoyment and motivation in the sport. And one of the key risks associated with early specialisation is burnout. Burnout is characterized by emotional and, physical exhaustion, reduced sense of accomplishment, and sports devaluation. And that is from a piece from Gustafsson et al. 2011. When young athletes are exposed to high training loads and pressure to perform, they may lose interest in the sport altogether. And this particularly can be problematic because sustained engagement is essential for long-term development. And in addition to this, burnout as well and early specialisation is linked to a high risk of injury. And it's particularly linked when overuse injuries, repetitive strain on the same muscle groups, and joints can lead to chronic conditions, especially in development bodies. So if you're starting off at a young age, that could quite possibly affect you. And according to Gianaffi et al. 2013, young athletes who specialise early are significantly more likely to experience serious injuries. And compared to those who participate in multiple sports, they're not really on the same level. And this highlights the importance of having a balanced training and having an adequate recovery when you potentially get them injuries. Um, Psychologically, early specialisation can limit the development of important skills such as adaptability and creativity. And athletes who engage in diverse sporting experience often demonstrate better decision making and problem solving abilities. And these skills are particularly valuable in dynamic sport environments, and especially where adaptability can influence performance outcomes. But social aspects also play a role in driving early specialisation. Parents, coaches, and sports organisations may and should encourage young athletes to focus on one sport in order to gain a competitive advantage. However, this pressure can sometimes conflict with the athlete's own interests and well-being. But from my personal thoughts, I think sports specialisation can contribute to the development of expertise, air specialisation, and it's not always the most effective or healthiest approach, but evidence suggests that early diversification offers several benefits, including reduced high risk, improving psychological well-being, and enhanced skill development. Um, and a balanced approach as well, which athletes should try and consider more often. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening. I hope it was interesting for you. In our next video, we're going to be talking about talent transfer in